Yeah, I got some water, stroganoff, and
But now it's Microsoft solved.
yeah, as we said before, sorry. Oh jeez, I forgot what I was gonna say. This is so bad.
The list of things that let me start over.
I was like, who the fuck is Larker? We're just gonna play with the cars all day long.
Spider-Man, alright? I don't mess with the webs. Okay.
Fair enough.
Alright, so let's go through the introduction and we'll actually get started. Who are you all?
I am a Pokemon, number 330, Flygon is the name.
I'm Chinese food.
I'm the word dynamic misspelled. And Zanthas is Helen Keller. Or no, wait.
Are we doing introductions?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Restart.
No, we don't have to.
Is my mic okay?
It's good. You're good. Actually, I just realized Helen Keller could absolutely talk, so that joke made no sense.
I forget that sometimes too.
Well, she
I think I mix it up
poll.
with I mix it up with Pinball Wizard. You know, that Deaf Dumb Blind Kid, the song about the hood.
Alright, we still don't know who Zanthas is. Jesus Christ.
I'm RMS.
Yeah,
This is Richard.
pretty accurate.
This is Richard Stallman.
RMS.
Coming to you live from GNU.org on my what does he have now?
Limo Elong.
No, he doesn't have it anymore. He lost it.
Oh, shit, that's right. It got stolen in South America.
Yeah. Oh shit, you're recording. Okay, let me do a backup.
Yeah, you probably should, because this is on
Yeah.
SSD, and it's already 30 minutes in, so I might cap out my storage, honestly.
Okay.
So if my kernel panics in the middle of this, that's my bad.
All right. Sounds good.
I find it funny that Uncle obviously is channeling his inner fucking Jackie Chan down in South Korea right now. Obviously trained to be a ninja. But he happened to do that during the most important week, possibly of the decade, when it comes to technology.
Are you sure you're not exaggerating, man?
No, absolutely not. Why would we do that? There's no freaking value in that. But it really is. Not only in software, I mean, there were big things happening in software, but starting off this fortnight, we had something big out of the realm of real science. Not shitting on you CS nerds or anything, but something pretty big happened in space this week.
Oh yes, a man wore a
Philae
sexist
landed.
T-shirt. That was the biggest tragedy in swimming. I was very upset about that.
So I have no clue what you just said.
Philae
The
landed.
scientist, he wore a T-shirt with like some naked anime characters on it or some shit.
He absolutely did do that. And are you
What
offended?
a misogynist! Like, what a fucking hot! Like, he should have been fired for that.
I agree. I just rage quit science after that. I'm hardcore Christian now. Just couldn't take it.
In other news, Philae landed.
Philae also did land. And we're not talking about the lunch meat. It's actually a word that means something important, I'm sure. Does anyone know what it means, by the way?
Lunch meat?
No, Philae.
No, I don't know.
Philae? Either way, long story short, humanity has, for the first time, landed a spacecraft on an asteroid. Flygon,
And they found organic matter.
Did they really?
Yep.
aliens confirmed.
But then again,
was a
organic
comet.
matter is anything
Organic-
that's made out of like carbon chain.
Yeah.
Wait, are you joking?
Yeah. I'm not joking.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that, actually.
Or I mean, that's not too exciting. The organic matter. If it was an organism.
No, it's so cool, though, because that could be a big part of panspermia.
Panspermia?
You guys don't know what that is?
Yeah, it's a legit thing.
It's a theory that life came from outer space from here, like a meteor crashed and with life on it, it spread.
Oh
throughout
yeah,
the
I've
Earth.
heard of that, but I didn't know that was the term. That's the technical term, panspermia.
Yeah, panspermia.
Which is why
Nice.
some bacteria can actually live in space just for that reason. That's like a theorized purpose for bacteria being able to live in a vacuum, is that we actually were alive on a comet that landed here. It's a big part of when the Philae lander can actually wake up again, what it's going to be looking for. Because right now it's in a sleep mode, because if it starts itself right now, the batteries will drain. It's too goddamn cold. Space is obviously known for that. So it has to wait until it's in line of sight of the sun to start doing actual science.
I thought that was for solar power.
I think it's for solar power.
It's a bit of both. The battery would discharge too quickly, and it could recharge from the sun. So it's a win-win for Philae.
Interesting. It's really cool that they managed to land something on something that has very little gravity and is moving.
It is. Actually, the gravity is so low that escape velocity can be achieved with a human jump. Think about that.
Yep.
So you're just chilling in this asteroid. You step wrong, you're off. That thing's hauling ass, too. To be able to get the right trajectory and speed for it, we had to use, I forget the exact number, but it was 2 to 3 gravity assists around the Earth, just to line it up right.
And this project took like 10 years, right?
Yes. Well, no. It's been... What am I trying to say here? It's been in the works since the 80s, but it launched in 2004.
That long? Well, wait, the European Union hasn't existed since the 80s. So
Exactly.
who started it?
I don't know. I think it was originally a mathematical pet project of... I'm absolutely spitballing with this. I have no clue. It was probably a mathematical pet project of one of the scientists, and then it got picked up by the European Union space, whoever did it.
Well, Flygon, you're our resident astronaut. What do you know about Philae?
I know it uses harpoons to get in, to dig into the comet's surface. That's pretty cool.
A resident astronaut. And yeah, it used the harpoon. Didn't it also have a mothership, like the Mars lander did?
Yes, it is called Rosetta. Philae beams its studies to Rosetta, which then beams it to wherever in Europe the ESA is located.
So explain this to me, Flygon. Is Rosetta in orbit around the...
Yes, it's in geosynchronous orbit above Philae.
That's so weird that it could be in orbit around something with an escape velocity that fucking low.
Yeah, well, it's in pretty slow orbit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like the comet is moving, but it's moving at a certain speed. So basically, what happens is the Rosetta spacecraft is matching that speed above Philae, since the gravity's so low. It's only 10 or so miles above Philae, which is on the comet surface.
I love hearing stuff about this, and if this was a poll podcast and not a G podcast, I would absolutely talk about how I would wish we would get into a second Cold War and another space race and everything, but we're not going to even scratch the surface of any of that, please.
Yeah, let's
the
not.
second Cold War would be more bombs and less space.
No, Russia actually released a statement this week saying that space is like the universal punching bag. You don't want to have a traditional warfare? Study space. Is basically what Putin was saying this week. But yeah,
Space
let's not political this up. I don't know why I started to go down that road. It's just silly. You might as well just go.
True. That,
But in more important news, even though we've landed a probe on a comment for the first time ever, the lead developer is a misogynist or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so important. So important.
He hates women. That's why he hired them and is married to one and all these.
He hates women. He doesn't want them in his field. He is a bad man. We should hate him because the SJWs told us to.
Yep. So, did you see the apology he gave?
I hope he just shit on feminism as a whole.
No, he was really upset that people got offended and
God damn it.
was visibly upset. He just spontaneously they were doing some sort of Q&A about it, and he just spontaneously broke out and just addressed the issue. Said he was
Burst out
sorry.
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he felt really bad because they made him feel like shit. I feel bad for the guy. I mean, he did something so important for humanity, and he gets shit for. I mean, I don't know.
He's actually a really eccentric dude because he has the sleeves of tattoos, and he got the tattoo of the lander and everything. Really cool personality, cool scientist. Somebody could I'd chill with him.
I think anyone would.
Even if he was beating up on women the whole time. Anyway. The other big story to shake headlines this week came out of Microsoft, which they've had a couple lately. Staying relevant. And definitely clinging to that relevance with what happened this week. I'm really excited about it. So, are you shitting me?
For the benefit of the listener.
Yeah, .NET is open source under the MIT license. Finally.
Yep.
The core. To be fair, all of .NET is not open source. The core .NET library is, and they've listed multi-platform support for .NET as one of their stretch goals for it.
Now, how much of a difference does this make between? Because I know C# is ratified as like an ECMA standard, right?
What kind of standard?
ECMA, ECMA.
Not heard of it.
They're like a body that makes a standard for things that are in use already in the field. Like JavaScript is actually ECMAScript, but all the implementations are called JavaScript.
I'm really interested in that because I've heard of ECMAScript, and I always read it as EMAXscript the first time around, just because conditioning. I didn't know what ECMA was.
Well, it's like a protocol kind of. It's like a standardization, I guess you would say. I mean, other stuff is based off of it too, like Flash. I think.
Is that ECMA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Just checked.
So what it's ECMA is kind of like after it's been created, they retroactively do the standard, and ANSI is like they do the standard and then implement it, or what's the difference there? Are they just different institutions for standardizing?
Well, ECMA's the Euros doing standards, and I guess ANSI's the American standard, right? It's both kind of. I don't know what order they do it in. I just know they standardize shit. I guess after you introduce it, they would standardize it. That would seem like the logical thing to do.
If you want.
Go ahead.
Since 1961 and continuing in full force today, ECMA International facilitates the timely creation of a wide range of global information and communications technology and consumer electronic standards for programming languages, etc. ECMA has been involved in the development of the concept of fast tracking in ISO/IEC JTC1 and since 1986 has been one of the main practitioners of it. ECMA is driven by industry to meet the needs of industry, generating healthy competitive landscape, blah, blah, blah.
I find that really funny that not only are there competing standards, there's competing standards for making standards.
Meta.
Pretty bad. But yeah, to the topic at hand, what do you guys feel about the MIT license? You feeling that? Wish it was GPL? Wish it was something else? BSD?
I'm not sure what the difference is.
I'm not exactly sure what MIT entails either. I know that you can't make money from derivative works. Absolutely not. I don't even know if you can share derivative works. I just know that the source is out there. So it's open source, but it's not free.
It kind of touches on the four freedoms right away. It says to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sub-license, or sell copies of the software, and to permit persons to whom the software is furnished to do so, subject to following conditions that you just distribute the license. It's really lightweight, actually.
It goes against the four freedoms, but I would say so. I'm just really happy that it happened either way, because I'm far from a zealot when it comes to free software. And any step in the right direction it's just intrinsically good in my eyes.
Well, wasn't C# already a standard? Like, you could learn C# from reading a book already, right?
You could what?
Like, all the information on C# and using it, and there's a compiler for it, isn't there? For other platforms?
There is a third-party project called Mono. And there was actually another one other than Mono called Xanorim, where you could compile your C# applications and whatnot on other platforms, but it was severely limited in not having .NET. Now those projects are deprecated, and they're over time going to be replaced by the official first-party .NET framework, so you get first-party updates and support from Microsoft and whatnot. It's really goddamn nifty. And I wasn't the only person that thought so. When this news hit, and this the reason I said it's one of the biggest weeks of the decade, it became the top all-time post of the programming subreddit. That's how excited people are for this. Having yourself a giggle there, Flygon?
Yep.
Reddit?
Using Reddit.
It's good for stuff like that.
No, it's not.
I use it for Destiny.
I think that's an even worse reason to use it.
Still playing that?
Yeah, can't play it now though. My parents have my TV.
Sucks,
I bought
dude.
them a new one because their old TV is broken.
I just gave up on Destiny because it had this problem with its design that if you stop playing it for any amount of time, you'll fall just irreparably far behind. And I don't feel like playing catch up right now.
Nah, I can use a break to it. But check it out. This is what's wrong with my parents' TV, alright? So it's an LCD TV, right? And they bought it back in, I think, 2008. And slowly the left side of the screen has just been getting darker, and it's progressing towards the right side.
It's slowly taking over.
Yeah, so I called a guy, and he said the crystals was dying. Is that a thing?
Yeah, liquid crystal display, it does though. It's not like LEDs.
It just kind of sounded weird because, I mean, it's like liquid crystals, and then they're powered by an electronic current. But do the crystals, quote-unquote, die?
Well,
Yes.
I guess they do.
Yeah, they do.
They're not organic though, are they?
They don't die in that sense. Like they die like you can't put any energy into them anymore. Like you can't power them
You have
anymore.
to bury your LCD TV when it's done.
That is so bad for the environment, though.
Could you freeze an LCD TV when it was on a channel and then unplug it and it still has that image?
That was the plasma TV.
But, so you can take a plasma TV to Antarctica, turn it off with like Jersey Shore playing, and it would still be good?
I think so. Plasma TVs aren't being made anymore, though. This is the last year for them.
Hey, KittyKatt might be in sooner or later. I just got highlighted in the channel, so we're about to have a guest speaker come in, possibly. But before we do that, I want to finish talking about C# because I know he doesn't care about that, and he wouldn't care if we go back into that. C# 6, which we talked about, I think 3 episodes ago, actually, when it was announced, is, I don't know if it's coming out or if it's about to, but not concise, what am I looking for here? A comprehensive list of features in it was released, and something really interesting is in there, which is, y'all programmers, right?
No.
I wouldn't call myself a programmer, but I know enough to talk about it, I guess.
Okay, well,
I know how to program like some things, so.
Well, you know, when you have an object that's null, right? You don't create a new object in object-oriented programming languages. It just doesn't have any memory and whatnot. And
Null is a different type than object in some way. You mean an empty object? Like,
an empty object, yeah. But you can compare against null in some languages, and it's really the same type of concept. C#, actually, and that's a big source of errors and unhandled exceptions, are most of the time just objects not existing. So now C# has introduced this new operator, which is $period, that will only run a certain method if an object exists. Which, honestly, that should just be default behavior to begin with.
I'm surprised it's not. But okay.
Yeah, and it'll just crash the program if it's not. So this is just adding a great layer of safety to the C# programs, and it's something we're going to see a lot of. It'll change C# code. So if you're a C# developer, get hype. And if you're a Java developer, return to killing yourself. But maybe not, though, because also, at the same time as the C# announcement, we got to see a little sneak peek of Java 9. Anyone looked them into some Java 9?
No.
I didn't either. I'm burnt out on Java.
Do you know Java?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uncle1023 has an intro in our channel that says, Denny's isn't a place you go, it's a place you end up.
Yeah.
That's like,
I was gonna say I changed it. Like I got on his account and changed it, and I was trying to fix Combat because that shit pissed me off. I don't even know why. It's been pissing me off for like a good half year.
I love that intro. And Java's the same way. It's not something you choose to write, but you're going to probably end up writing it.
Why?
Android and parking meters, apparently, and just everything that runs Java. It's definitely our generation's COBOL, and I know I've said this before, but it doesn't stop being true. Meanwhile, while .NET is open sourcing and all these new languages are having these banging features and everything, Netflix takes a giant leap backwards and closed their public API this week.
Yeah, I was reading about that. I didn't even know they had a public API. I thought it was all private, but that's kind of sad.
It is, because the search feature in Netflix isn't the best, so they would use the public API for like a specialized search site and different things like that. That's all gone. Just can't do it anymore. And we knew it was coming. This information was announced, I think like 6 months ago or something. But today's the first time it happened.
They also stopped giving where they didn't let anybody else get the public API keys anymore for like 2 years. So they were trying to limit it.
So it was just the established services, which is just having the sword looming or the axe looming over your neck anyway, because those services knew they were going to have to close down at some point anyway.
Did they give an official statement like these companies usually do whenever that happens?
I assume they did, but I didn't see it personally.
I'd be curious if they gave any reason apart from, the standard bullshit.
No, it was probably just the same corporate bullshit that you always hear when they're closing down a public API. I assume they want to, what's the word? You know how monolithicize their service more than it was, and it was already pretty goddamn monolithic. It's not like you had a bunch of sites offering Netflix features that were third party. So I don't see where they're coming from with that.
They said that their public API just didn't have enough traffic to maintain it, like to justify the cost. Which I think it's because they never advertised they had a public API, but that's why they said they were shutting it down. They said they couldn't justify the cost of upkeep. But to be honest, I mean, I don't see how much upkeep it could be.
It can be a lot to upkeep an API though, because you absolutely can't break it, or else it's false advertising.
But they're upkeeping their private API. It's probably almost the same.
All right, we have ourselves a guest speaker, or co-host, KittyKatt.
Kitty.
Hey,
Mew. That's my cat noise.
where are we at?
We actually just started, like
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago.
Oh.
We've only covered Firefox and .NET and Netflix, and that's it. That's about it.
We didn't cover shit with Firefox. What happened with Firefox?
Firefox.
Oh wait, we didn't. My bad. The probe.
Firefox is a probe now?
The probe
Firefox
landing.
landed on Comet. Firefox landed this week, remember?
It's like freaking Independence Day, but instead of an explosive, it's an out-of-memory error on the Comet. Seriously, I've never seen something so hungry for goddamn RAM until I started using Firefox. I switched to... I wonder what RAM tastes like. And I'm not even gonna... I switched to Chromium this week. No more Firefox. I said I was gonna do that for a while, but I hit my go point with it finally.
I haven't tested it, but I'm pretty sure Chromium kills the battery life on my Big Ten.
It probably does, yeah.
And any browser would do that. Like when I have Firefox open on my X200S, my battery life shortens to like 5-6 hours as opposed to like the 10 it can get.
Well, I don't have an X series. I have like a T60, so it's like 4 hours normally, and like it goes down for like an hour.
Damn, that's rough.
I might install links. I might just do the text-based browser.
Hey, W3M's where it's at. It's
Just
better.
straight wget.
WWM?
You could write a wrapper down wget probably.
wget and Emacs, that's all you need, my friend. Go the Stallman route.
I mean, there's a full web server written in Bash. I'm sure you can write a wrapper around wget to write yourself a nice web browser.
Yeah,
Or W3M. That is another option. It's like
what we're talking about with Firefox being in the news is that they released a developer edition specifically for web developers.
Oh, that's out? Where is it? Let me get this shit. Where is it?
The R.
What?
I tried it yesterday. It's pretty nice. I actually like it a lot. The developer edition for Firefox. It actually feels faster than normal Firefox. I don't know if that's just because I have Nightly on my desktop, and Nightly's a buggy piece of shit. But
Yeah, there's no good reason to use lately.
Oh, this is just Firefox.
I try to help Mozilla out with crash reports and bug reports and stuff. I'm not just like, most people on G are just using Nightly for the sake of it.
I think it's tiring though,
Yeah.
because after a certain point, you just want your internet to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I see. I never upgraded Firefox because of the Australis thing. Like, there was such a shitstorm on G about it. Like, it got me like paranoid. That's what I'm told. But at the time, they were acting like it was the end of the world, so I just turned off updates.
Yeah, but G has a way of doing that with everything. You just have to give them a couple years, and then they'll ease up to it. I mean, you would get laughed out of 4chan for having GNOME 3 in a desktop thread, but now you see it all the time.
Well, it's also better now.
It is better. Oh yeah, they should absolutely rebrand the version of GNOME to something that isn't in the 3.x anymore. It's a completely different beast than it was at launch.
We should go back to 2.x.
Who the hell's breathing?
Flygon just swallowed his mic. You good, buddy? Okay.
He's
Other
dead.
news.
We killed him. Flygon's dead. It's confirmed.
I raid one raise.
Podcast uses unbreathe. It's very effective. I heard him having a giggle. He's coming too.
We should get Shaba in on this.
Who?
Shaba? Oh, that new person.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty sweet guy.
I'm pretty sure he's a troll. I'm just from what I've seen. I don't know. So, Zanthas, what makes a developer edition different from what Firefox already had with the inspector and the console?
I think it has an IDE built in. Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
Oh, like a web ID.
Yeah, I just checked. It does. I'm on it right now.
That's goddamn awesome. Can it do Vim bindings or Emacs bindings or anything?
I haven't used it. I'm just
Okay.
using it as a browser. I just installed it yesterday. I actually couldn't find for a while I didn't have the Pirate Pad open because I just I didn't have any history, so I had to like go search my logs. So that's why I was so quiet at the beginning. Because I was looking
I
for
could have absolutely just bunged that in here. If I type P, that's the first thing that comes up is our Pirate Pad. Pirate Pad, for those of you that don't know, by the way, is the service it's a site where you can basically have a notepad that a bunch of people can edit and you can see who makes the changes. It's kind of like a live Git in that sense, and it's what we use to compile our notes for the podcast every week.
I'll tell you something. Watching Zanthas just suddenly fucking write some shit while I'm trying to type some shit is the scariest shit ever. I'm just typing and all of a sudden I see avconv is dead ?
I saw that too.
Above what I'm writing. I'm just like, I'm dead ?
Yeah, well, now that we're talking about avconv, let's just do that. So there was a shitstorm. I think in Ubuntu 12.4. Am I right with that?
It might have been before, but it was a couple years back.
Yeah, where ffmpeg was removed from the Ubuntu repositories and replaced with avconv, which is just a drop-in replacement for ffmpeg. And
Should be, yes.
What?
Well, for those of you guys who don't know what ffmpeg is, it's like basically it's a set of libraries to handle like videos and audio, and just basically most video players or most video editors use that as a library or as a backend.
It can do anything AV related, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's like the DD of audio and video edit, or not editing because it really doesn't do that, but audio and video functionality. Anything possible to do with like freaking those types of files, it can handle. But it was removed, much to a lot of people's dismay, because they had to change their scripts and everything to use avconv, or at least set up an alias. Now it's not necessary, because once again, ffmpeg has risen from the dead and will be included in the Ubuntu 15.04 repositories.
Yeah.
Flygon, what the fuck are you trying to say? Okay.
Sorry, I was talking to my mother, who brought me a drink.
That's
very nice of her.
It is. What'd you get?
Water.
Oh, shitty of her. Dude, Slider is where it's at.
But yeah, avconv was it was a really big deal back when they did fork. It's a fork of ffmpeg, and it really was a big deal when they when that whole thing happened. So it's kind of a big deal that they're putting it back in. I guess the Ubuntu developers or the avconv team decided that they were being stupid. They kind of were being stupid.
Was it one of those license things, like how like Firefox is called Iceweasel?
I don't believe it was, because ffmpeg was always GNU GPL. I think it was more security reasons and just like project management, clashes in how the project was run that they wanted to fork off in avconv. And to be fair, I don't know if there's any technical merit in using avconv over ffmpeg. I've always just been able to replace ffmpeg with avconv and scripts, even for complex shit like streaming, and it just worked perfectly fine. So for 99% of users, there's not going to be any change by this, but it's awesome that all the forum posts that say, oh yeah, to do this, install ffmpeg, will make sense to new users.
I think it's also nice that I feel like this will make the avconv developers just rejoin the ffmpeg developers. There won't be duplication of effort. You know, we can get a better ffmpeg.
Wasn't the only good thing that Ubuntu did this week either. And so, this is exactly what I was talking about in the pre-show. They are now allowing you to use Ubuntu Landscape for free. For personal use. For up to 10 computers, you can now use Ubuntu Landscape. Any server folk gonna try this one out?
I honestly don't even know what it is. Can you explain? Can you explain what it is?
It's a really good service for system administration, for administering large amounts of computers. A lot of server farms are pretty fond of it.
What is this now?
Landscape.
Oh.
For Ubuntu.
Yep.
You can manage the configurations of large amounts of computers, send massive reboots, update all of the computers with just a click of a button. It's very intuitive.
It would be something that's very useful for people that run VPS services.
Absolutely.
You know, if someone that ran a VPS service for a bunch of people, it'd be really good for them for like they could restart all the servers at once.
Mm-hmm. It's enterprise as shit, and as a result of that, it used to be very prohibitively expensive, like in the hundreds of dollars per month, I think, and now it's free for personal use. It's still expensive as shit for large deployments and business use and everything, but if you pay for it, it comes with support, so hey, let it win. It's a compelling reason to use Ubuntu server, which I actually did as a desktop operating system. Don't do that.
This might be something I could use for Venture.
What adventure?
So this might be something I could use for Venture. That's nice. I think I've only seen this like once or twice.
Yeah, I followed it a couple times because there were stories about people with large deployments, like big services, using Ubuntu Landscape and being excited about it when it released and stuff. So it's a serious thing.
What about doing it on like a smaller scale? Like how do you manage multiple VMs or servers?
You just
like,
sign up.
What are other solutions, like for a smaller scale?
If you don't want to use Landscape?
Yeah, like what other solutions are there, like doing it yourself?
God, I guess. I don't really
not
know.
a whole lot of really enterprise quality kind of stuff, unless you buy it. That is worthy of this for like smaller scales.
We're talking about deploying multiple servers, right?
Yeah, I don't know if there really is anything. I guess you're left to bash. Bash is my answer.
Someone's very welcome to leave a link to anything in the comments.
Absolutely. And that will get added in the show notes. Well, actually, the way we do it, a lot of these things have links, unless I was too lazy to add them, which was actually the case in quite a few of these. Just because some of them are unlinkable.
I added links to my sources.
Yeah, I'll get around to that at some point. At some point that'll happen. But the different things that happened in the popular applications this week, it immediately... all the blog spam links float to the top, so I want to kind of wait until the official sources get there. We had things happen in YouTube, WhatsApp, and freaking Snapchat this week. That those are what I'm particularly referencing.
Speaking of WhatsApp.
What's up, guys?
Wow. Anyways... WhatsApp co-founder donated $1 million to the FreeBSD Foundation. Which
basically for him is like making it rain. He just reached into his wallet, pulled something out, and chucked it at us. But shit, we'll take it. $1 million can absolutely help out when it comes to FreeBSD. That's about what they get per year anyway, I think. Did you read the story he wrote about using FreeBSD?
No, I didn't.
It was kind of touching. In a way, that he actually developed WhatsApp on FreeBSD, so he's paying it forward to them. That goes back to standing on the shoulder of giants, and he absolutely did. And then just freaking drown that guy in gold. What might say? That sentence aspired to be English, but it was nowhere close.
Also, speaking of WhatsApp, WhatsApp recently adopted the Open Whisper protocols, which is the same thing that Text Secure uses on Android, for end-to-end encryption in single and group chats. So us here at Teknik, at least Uncle D, Joe Linksney, Zanthas, and I, we use Telegram to communicate outside of IRC, and it's because it's end-to-end encryption. Although their group chat does not offer end-to-end encryption, so WhatsApp might be better. We might actually be adopt WhatsApp. Although the one main difference is that WhatsApp isn't open source.
No, that's
Telegram
unfortunate downside to WhatsApp. It is, however, widely supported, and a lot of people use it. So if you never need support for it, shit, it's there. I haven't personally used WhatsApp, so I don't really know what I'm talking about there. I did use Snapchat, which had something else released this week. Dude, all the popular apps are popping off this week. Snapchat. Yeah. Before I ask about this, do any of you guys use it?
No.
Sometimes.
No.
I just like that sometimes by Zanthas. Not going to ask because it can be used for shadier things, and even more so now that you can send money through it. I don't see that being abused at all.
I said no. It was
I said sometimes.
Wasn't Facebook going to unroll some sort of payment system? Did they ever do that?
I don't think it's unrolled yet, but they're working on it.
Do you have anything to contribute on the WhatsApp thing, Zanthas? Now that they have end-to-end encryption
and $1 million for free BSD?
I don't trust it. I know Moxie Marlinspike is a trusted person in the community, the crypto community, but I don't trust. It's not that I don't trust the protocol. I don't trust the implementation of the encryption without being able to see the source code. And I don't think anybody should trust it. At first, go on.
Do you think that now that they're using Open Whisper, which is an open source protocol, that there might be a chance that they'd ever open source WhatsApp?
At first I thought that they were using the Open Whisper GPL code, but after rereading it several times and just reading about it, it seems like they're just using the protocol, which of course they can make a proprietary version of an open protocol. You know, the code can be proprietary. So I don't think
that's purely a pragmatic step to use an open source protocol. They just needed something that happened to exist in an open source solution.
Yeah, because they could, especially from a developer that like Moxie, because he's so respected within the crypto community. I think, I mean, there could always be a chance. Like I would never have said that .NET would be open source. Like I would have never imagined that.
That's the thing. That's the last thing on the planet you would think would be open source, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, oh, here guys, here's .NET. Enjoy.
Yeah, so WhatsApp could be in the future, but I don't think it in the immediate future. No, and I don't think anybody should trust it, even if even if they use an open protocol, the source code is proprietary, and I don't think. I mean, you shouldn't trust anything that's proprietary. That claims encryption
doesn't mean anything if they can still collect the metadata and all that, and possibly even store copies of the encrypted things you're sending anyway. So, yeah. If you're a tinfoil hat, don't trust it. Otherwise, enjoy your encryption, like the rest of us normal folk. I'm sorry, I don't want to shit on you like tinfoil people out there. I'm sure hanging out with the Aluminum Man or whatever you fuckers do is treating you well. But I don't care. I don't have enough time in my day to care about things not being secure or being private or anything.
Because you have nothing to hide, right?
Yeah, we're back to that argument. And shit, even if you do, and encryption, baby, just taking the headline and running with it.
But if it's proprietary, like Xantha said, then there's no real reason to trust that it actually is encrypted.
Yeah, that is true. I can't refute that. It's not like encryption can't be cracked anyway. Not easily, obviously. This isn't the movies, but it can be. And there's really nothing you can do about that. The Snapchat thing, though, which I started to talk about, is pretty interesting. It's called Snapcache. And what it is, well, for those of you who don't know, and this is G, so, chances are you might not. Snapchat's just a service where you can send pictures to each other. Might sound familiar to some of you image board using folk out there.
Isn't Moot like so crazy about Snapchat?
Who?
Moot, the guy who made 4chan.
That's a big giant faggot.
Everybody on V says that.
He might be. I don't
Mood
Snapchat
advocated for Snapchat all the time. I think it's even on his blog somewhere.
It's basically like one-to-one image boarding. It's okay. I like it, and you can have video too, and send payments. And how? Explain to me on a service like Snapchat where you can't easily save the pictures that you're getting sent. Explain to me how this isn't turning into prostitution immediately.
Oh, it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, there's gonna be a whole new generation of cam girls.
Yep.
Live Jasmine all over again.
Dude.
What was that?
I just thought about that. That did not even occur to me when I heard about Snapcash. I was like, oh, cool, you can send, anonymous cash tool. That did not even occur to me, and that's amazing.
This service was literally built around dicks. There's no way this is going in that direction. Genitalia. Hang on, I'm going to open a bottle of water. You guys vamp for like 20 seconds.
So I had a question about servers and stuff, but unless we're still on this topic.
Go ahead.
So how do you guys manage to deploy multiple servers? I've had to reinstall Debian a couple times on this same box, and then I have to go through it and set it up like it's a new computer from scratch. How do you manage to keep your applications, your conf files, your dot files? How do you keep track of that? And
I used to keep whenever I started installing Debian on my server, because I used to run Arch on my server because that's what I was familiar with, and about 3 years ago, I switched to Debian on my server, and I installed every couple months. I reinstalled because I had something I fucked up or something I did wrong or something I wanted to do different. And what I used to do was I used to keep a Git repository of all my conf files, and I wrote a Bash script to grab all the files, put them in the correct places, and install all the packages I needed.
Do you still have that?
No, it's long gone. But it's not that hard to create. Just remember what you need. Remember what you need for your base system. I need TCPD, MySQL, PHP MySQL, PHP5.
Right.
I remember what you need to get your server running, and then once it's up, you once you come to a conflict, install that package. You come to a conflict, install it. It needs something, install that package. I know the things that I need to get my base system running.
I know
so I put all that
about that base. And we're copyright stricken. But that's what I was talking about. If you're not an enterprise deployment, you're pretty much going to end up doing most of this yourself.
What were you going to say, Santa?
I know Aptitude can read you can give it a file to read, and it will install the packages in the file that's you just list the packages and it'll just automatically install them for you.
So a really good way to get your package list is dpackage with the L flag, lowercase, and that gives you a full list of every single package you have installed in your system. You can just export that to echo to a file and just put it on an external hard drive, put it back on the system when you reinstall it, and then use it as a list to reinstall everything.
Yeah, you can use Aptitude or something like that. It will just read it and just install everything.
There's also a solution called Apton, which will do the same thing for you, just generate a list of packages, but it can also download the packages for you, so then you can just install all the packages, blanket installation next time you install.
Neat. But I guess the main thing for me would be the conf files, because I always end up configuring stuff, and it never works out of the box.
Keep a Git repo, man. Keep a Git repo
in
your home directory, and then use symlinks to symlink them to the right places.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. Well, thanks, guys.
That's what I do with a lot of people use their lighttdbd configuration. It's all one big file. My lighttdbd configuration is almost like an Apache configuration in the way that I have 10 to 15 includes in my main lighttdbd config file. One for the SSL stuff. I have one for all the MIME types. I have one for my host comps, for each domain I host, and then in that file has all the subdomain rules. And then I have one for logins. I have one for access. I have a bunch of I part my config file out and I symlink them all to the right places in the etc. But the actual files are in my home directory so that I can write to them whenever I want.
That's a really smart idea.
Yeah, it's an elegant as shit solution. I've learned too that you like having things in one file. Just saying. I've read Screen Fetch and
that 3,000 plus lines, right?
No, it's okay. I've read source files before with more stuff than that, and they didn't have ASCII, so they don't have an excuse. If your source file is pushing 3,000 lines and you don't have artwork in it, what are you doing, man?
This week's podcast brought to you by ScreenFetch. It's available at github.com/KittyKatt/ScreenFetch.
ScreenFetch is our sponsor this week. Thank you, KittyKatt, for your contribution.
You're welcome. Oh.
That'll be $100.
What did I contribute?
It's also available in all the major Linux distributions. Just check with your package.
Not Ubuntu.
Your package. Really? No, it's available in Ubuntu.
Thanks, Mark Shuttleworth. Oh wait, is it?
Yeah.
No.
14.04 has it. I'm pretty sure.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm testing this shit out. I will report back.
It should be. Someone actually messaged me with a link to the package on their Ubuntu repositories and a launchpad and shit.
Not in here. I'm using
maybe 14.10.
I'm in 14.10. Or no, maybe no, I'm not. I'm just kidding. 14.04. So yeah, it could be in 14.10. Shit, dude, I should get around to installing 14.10. Actually, what am I doing? I always have a problem with Ubuntu that they get into the news like right before they release, and then I just get really anxious to install Ubuntu. So I end up installing the previous version like 2 days before a new one comes out. I just get like so hyped for it. Although I'm sure I'm the only person here using Ubuntu right now, so I'm unrequited when it comes to that feeling.
I'm all about Debian.
Debian's okay. For what you were so oh, goddamn. For what you're using it for, I agree with you using Debian. You're using it correctly. Because it's not like a desktop operating system for you, it's more of a server type installation.
Well, I'm also using it on my laptop. I really enjoy it there as well.
I used to enjoy Debian.
Literally to death.
I'm not much for the rice, though. I haven't been able to get a good-looking desktop going.
But you can get a good-looking desktop on any Linux distro. It doesn't matter the package manager.
Except Elementary. No, Elementary actually looks pretty good. Did you guys see Quantum, by the way? Quantum OS? I linked it in the very beginning of this podcast. It's an operating system that it wants to have a design similar to Material Design. It's taking a bunch of cues from that, and it uses QML layouts. Actually, it looks really goddamn modern.
What's up?
Quantum OS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow, this looks really pretty.
Yeah, doesn't it? I was really excited though because I also got this from Reddit. I was looking through Reddit and I saw Quantum OS. I'm like, oh, dude, holy shit! Somebody made an operating system for quantum computers, like qubit-based operating system. Nope, it's just some like theme shit and Material Design flat fucking user interfaces and stuff. I was like, well, so pretty.
This does look pretty though. It's nice.
It won't go anywhere. The project's absolutely going to crash and burn, but at least they tried.
Yeah.
Primarily using Qt5 and QML. Qt.
It's good. Better GTK, I would argue.
It is better than
Qt.
GTK3.
Always looks like shit. It's like my only. Qt's better, but it always looks like shit on my machines. I have never ever gotten Qt to look any good.
Yeah, true. Same here.
Qt's like the .NET of Linux. Before .NET was the .NET of Linux.
I mean, Qt looks amazing on Windows. It's because it's like a one DLL file, right? And like that's it.
Yeah, and then you install it on Linux, and it's a billion dependencies.
And it sucks on Linux, in my opinion.
It's all of KDE 5, and just all this shit gets pulled down with it.
Can you download Quantum OS right now?
It looks like it was created 3 days ago, and their last update was 2 hours ago. So I'm looking forward to this.
The only problem is the way it does its layouting. It's incompatible with current Xorg and Wayland apps.
Uses Wayland.
Yeah, it does use Wayland.
So no X. That's bullshit.
Bullshit. I second that because you can't run any real applications on it. So it's purely just like people in the Reddit thread where this appeared were likening it to an art project, and I agree with them. But a successful art project at that, because it looks sexy, I would bang that operating system. 10 out of 10. I don't know why I took it down that road.
You like those OS tabs, don't you? I have a whole folder if you want them.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with some of them. The Windows one's cute. You ever seen the official Windows Japan mascot?
No.
It's an anime character.
Well, yeah, but I haven't seen that one specifically. I've seen the one for IE. I forgot what her name is. Tori or Tony or something.
Zanthas.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Well, the summoning worked. So yeah, Firefox. Sorry, air came out of my mouth too quickly and it hurt. Firefox has abandoned Google.
Really? I thought they were one of the major contributors.
And the who? What?
Yeah, monetarily, I meant.
No, not anymore. Because they accepted a contract with Yahoo to make Yahoo the default search engine for the new Firefox. Google is no more. What? So I've been looking at this from every angle, and I can't really pinpoint what this means for Yahoo and what it means for Firefox. It's a really interesting move.
I think that honestly, Yahoo just offered them more money than Google, because Google is paying Firefox to be the default browser,
and apparently Yahoo offered a bigger sum.
Yeah, and I also think just because they don't want to give Google, I guess they just didn't want to give Google so much power. Seems like I can see Mozilla doing that.
I don't know if it was. I'm not saying yes or no. I don't work in Mozilla, but I think it's purely monetary here, and I think it's a big move by Yahoo to do this, because we're not talking small amounts of money here. We're probably talking in the orders of hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah, I think Google would give Mozilla $1 million every week for being the default browser or some shit like that.
And this coincides with Yahoo completely redesigning their search page. They're currently developing a minimal front page like Google has, where it's just a search bar, and absolutely trying to modernize themselves. So this is the beginning of what could be a big marketing push for Yahoo to get back into relevance, which they've somehow clung to pretty well in the 10 years that Google has had reign over them. Do you think this could be good for Yahoo? I mean, obviously, it's good for Yahoo, but it's enough to save it. Yeah, but anyway, I don't think. Here's what I'm worried about. I don't think it's going to be enough to save Yahoo. Yahoo is not the cultural icon that Google is, where you say, "Oh, Yahoo it." That just doesn't happen, for one thing.
Yeah. You remember
the search
that?
relevance.
I remember that. Long time ago.
It was in the Inspector Gadget movie.
The search relevance isn't as good as Google, and really, with any search engine, the search relevance isn't as good as Google. Google is just relevant as shit. And here's what I'm worried about with this. That if this doesn't go well, and users are angry with this, it could be fucking mental to Firefox. Because users aren't going to change this. You get your average Joe or Grandma freaking Ethel hopping on her laptops and using Firefox for whatever reason. She's not going to enjoy this change one bit. She won't know how to change it.
That's right. And it's like their interface is totally different. So people aren't going to notice it.
It's going to be foreign. It's going to be scary.
It's not like Bing. Bing kind of looks like how Google used to look, or like how Alta Vista used to look.
Well, apparently Yahoo's moving towards that Google look of things, but even so, it's a whole other web service. So we'll see. Hopefully Firefox can stay afloat until they get Servo out. Because I don't
think this will kill it. It'll just make it. I don't even know.
You say that
waves. I would say.
Yeah, you say that, but then you also might be underestimating the power of defaults.
That's true.
I mean,
well, I'm sure they'll still have the drop down arrow for the search bar. Yeah, I see people use that. I actually see people pick the eBay one and search stuff on eBay, or pick the Twitter one.
It's actually really convenient for Amazon. I do that all the time.
Why don't you just have a search keyword?
Search keyword?
Yeah, if you're on a website. Oh, this is actually really good technical tip of the week, by the way. If you're on a website with a search bar, you can right-click it and add a search keyword. So if you're on, say, YouTube, and you right-click the YouTube search bar and set your search keyword to YT, if you type YT into your Firefox URL bar and then a search term, it'll search on YouTube for you.
I just saw that. That is awesome. I didn't know that.
I use it all the time for documentation and computer programming. It saves a lot of time. You don't have to go through a middleman or expect Google to find out what the fuck you're talking about. Although now I use Chromium and that's integrated true. Anyway, so moot point. Really, I think that is pretty much all that happened in software this week.
He's making his own web browser.
I mean, I want to do a lot of other things with it. This guy TSO, we were just coding a web IDE that will be integrated into it as well the other day. But yeah, I want to make Chrome just as customizable, if not way more so than Firefox, and make that easy for anybody that knows JS or HTML.
This guy TSO. It's only the TSO.
General TSO, the man.
They're leveraging some very interesting web technologies too. Some forgotten relics too. XSLT.
Well, that's me by myself.
Wait, so if I understood that right, you're building a web IDE that's a browser on top of WebKit?
Yeah, pretty much with Node.
You could use Atom for that.
Yeah, this right now does use Atom, but I've actually contributed to that project for a second. Before I did that, I did Node WebKit, and now I'm actually binding the Atom Shell V8 bindings into the regular Chrome itself. So it has all the features like downloads and the essential browser features, really.
Very interesting.
Okay. That's cool. What are you guys calling it?
Infinium.
Oh, you linked the GitHub. I'm so sorry. I just noticed that right now.
Wow, Zanthas. Man.
Maximum excitement.
I'm just contributing what I know about like the web design and like the way it looks and stuff, and the focus doing most of the back end.
I'm trying to write everything as simple as possible so people that are just getting into JS can understand the code that I've built here and build from it and do whatever they want. Like, Infinium, as in the concept of build whatever you want to infinity. I want a version of Chrome that can run popcorn time inside of that.
It sounds like you want to make Eclipse run on top of Chrome. Really?
No, Java is terrible.
I was talking about Java, but just the extensibility stretch goal for the project.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a way to actually customize the look and feel and the UI of Chrome as it is right now. There's no way to customize how the tabs get displayed or even, where the apps menu is. Like, you would think that'd be in the taskbar or the Chrome bar itself, but no, it's in one place, hidden and obscured.
See, the thing is, there's already something like that, like a web IDE that's also a browser, that's also an IRC client, that's also everything. It's called Emacs.
I will never get my grandma to use Emacs, but my browser, yeah, probably someday.
Actually, the old Mozilla client before Firefox, if you remember that, used to have all those features. It had
SeaMonkey, right?
You got turned into SeaMonkey later, yeah.
Firefox totally has been doing this for years, but it's a lot more complicated to wrap your head around than HTML, trying to deal with XUL, and it's also a lot slower and a lot less popular than Chrome these days.
I've heard good things about XUL altogether, though.
All hail Zol.
I just think that Google's been moving in this direction where they want to control the user experience definitively. That's definitely the sense I've gotten, especially from this year's Google I/O.
Oh, and they are. They're succeeding. Gloriously.
But people want customization. Some people do.
Google wants ad money. That's why the apps in the Chrome Web Store is actually completely bastardized. Even though there is a huge number of people that do use it, they've hidden it into the very back of the browser to push their own products, and the entire store is really only set up to send you to things that have Google ads on them. So it's in their way of increasing their ad monopoly.
Yeah, you have to remember, first and foremost, Google is an ad company. That's where the revenue is.
An ad company, not an app company.
Ad, yes.
I mean, if you look at Opera too, it's just like a direct clone of Chrome is right now. There's really no difference between the two, which is depressing.
What were you saying, KittyKatt?
Speaking of Google stuff, Lollipop dropped a while back, right? We talked about it on our last podcast a little bit, and I've had a little bit of time to play around with it.
You like it?
Some of the gripes a lot of people have with it, and I myself have with them, are there's two really big things that I hated about this. Heads-up notifications are really cool. The way that Lollipop handles notifications now is really cool, but they take a lot of the options out of your hands. So, say like I have Hangouts, and I talk to all the venture guys via Hangouts, and so I get a message every I guess say 10 to 15 seconds, right? Well, there's no way to control, besides putting it into priority mode, heads-up notifications. Either you turn all the notifications off, or you live with heads-up notifications.
I don't like the sounds of that.
Well, there is a way is to put it in priority mode, but the major flaw with priority mode is that it lets the app decide whether it's a high priority or a low priority message. And obviously, every single app out there is going to put all of their notifications as high priority. WhatsApp is currently abusing it. Hangouts is currently abusing it.
Oh, wow. it's like WhatsApp letting emails decide if they're important.
Exactly. Letting an email decide if it's spam or not, right? It's because WhatsApp and Lollipop, the Lollipop build, every single one of the notifications is labeled as high.
There's not a reason for that.
There's not. It's an abusive system. They need to put the control back into the user's hands and just make a huge a nice big setting for notifications, like a group of settings, so you can choose it's kind of like if you go into app info for an app, you could choose whether all notifications from that app should be low or high.
I would love that if WhatsApp had a feature like Snapchat has, where it shows your best friends on Snapchat, if the people you usually talk to were prioritized higher than the people that you never talk to on WhatsApp. Now that would be a cool feature to incorporate into it. And the correct way to use it. Sorry, I dropped my mic really bad.
Another thing that's really rough with Lollipop is finding the silent mode, which means you can silent all your ringtones and notifications, but you can still have your alarms open. I think I was reading a page the other day that you could do it. It's just hard to find. But they seem to have really made a lot of these things abstract and weird and in hard to find places to take away. They took away from the elegance and that Lollipop's cool. It's really pretty. It's fast. It's just some of their settings seem to be in weird places and places you wouldn't expect, and it just seems detrimental to use.
Google has a tendency to do that.
Another thing with Lollipop, considering also encryption, is that Lollipop, you can encrypt your Lollipop comes default with a really easy way to encrypt your whole phone. You don't have to use any third-party applications. You can encrypt your phone right there, built into Lollipop. And apparently the U.S. government doesn't like that because they released, they're trying to fight it under the grounds of public safety.
I didn't see any motherfuckers coming out of the woodwork and saying this is going to get pedophiles' favorite phone or whatever headline was for the iPhone.
Yeah, What the argument is that here, let me open this link real quick. The argument is that smartphone encryption could lead to a death of a child, the government claims.
Of course. That's the first thing I think. When I think encryption, I think children die.
It's exactly they're going to huge extremes, but obviously the government doesn't want you to encrypt your phone because then they can't look at shit without you knowing, right? Because then they have to go get a warrant for your phone at that point.
God forbid.
It'll rape your daughter and bring back child labor.
It's just they hate it. I feel like they're trying to fight it with all they can because it's getting easier and easier for people to encrypt their phones and encrypt their hard drives and stuff. Because there's just getting easier software, easier to use, newer methods that just make it easier for you to do it.
Do you guys really think that it's actually encrypting your phone to the point where no branch of U.S. government can access it?
Oh, I'm sure someone could, but it's a lot more effort on their part than they'd rather just not be able to encrypt it so they can just take it. I mean, that's more effort on their part to do.
Exactly.
The U.S. government has the processing power to probably de-encrypt whatever they need to anyway.
I don't even think it's a matter of processing power. I think it's a backdoor that was placed in there by Google. I mean, you look at something like TrueCrypt, which just disappeared off the face of the planet, and
that's right. I remember that.
Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
It was a little too secure, and I don't hear. I highly doubt that there is no branch of U.S. government that can, Oh,
I'm sure there's backdoors somewhere. That would require, once again, it requires more, man hours to get it. Instead of just taking the phone, looking at it right there, they have to maybe send it somewhere, get them to hey, do this, and then they send it back, and then they can look at it. As opposed to them picking up your phone right on your house after they, or right at the police station or whatever, picking it up and then looking through it right there.
What are you guys worried about? Holy shit!
I'm not worried about it, but it's more. They don't allow you to encrypt your phone under the guise of public safety is what they're trying to get at.
Yeah,
I mean that's just fear mongering.
It really is. I mean, if you're going to argue against encryption, at least come up with a compelling reason, not, oh, your kids are dying.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. At least come with a compelling, like, it just, this makes it, at least tell the truth. Like, it's like, this makes it inconvenient for us to do investigations, not, oh, hey, if a kid could be dead, like, don't, like, go to that extreme when you're trying to argue against it.
I would much rather have the transparency of saying, yeah, in the future, if we do need to see what's on this phone, it's going to be an extra step for us, yada, yada, yada.
But governments are incapable of telling the truth.
To me, it sounds like they are actually just making it sound like it's going to be much harder to break into these phones, so criminals feel secure. Meanwhile, they still have access.
I mean, who knows, honestly, but...
Honestly, I think that it's the perfect thing to say to the average person. You know, they hear this and they'll...
It's a little too perfect. Like, this is just like a total, like, fear-mongering bullshit, excuse.
That's the thing.
So the average Joe will be like, whoa, this allows pedophiles to rape my kids? Why would I want it?
Just for some reason, that sentence, this allows pedophiles to rape my kids, huh? That's something I don't want.
Man, I want that on my phone. I can't be having any pedophiles using my phone. I don't want to be using the same phone that a pedophile uses.
Yeah, no.
I lived next to a pedophile, and he was the nicest neighbor I've ever had.
How old were you?
I mean, all ages. Just like I always lived next to like obviously he got less and less nice to me the like more teenage I got, but Easter or Halloween at his house was always the wangs. He would have like the full size candy bars and stuff.
I think you might want to go back and reword that.
I didn't think that
Show
through.
us on the doll, Dymatic.
Didn't think through that adjective.
I don't know.
That
Some
all the
might slip
technology stuff?
downstairs.
The last Google thing to happen this week, they introduced Yahoo Music, yeah.
Yeah, Google introduced Yahoo Music, everyone.
YouTube Music. Which, has anybody used it?
No. I don't even use Google Play Music.
Oh, dude, I've absolutely used YouTube Music, and it's really good. I would recommend people who enjoy streaming music and aren't into huge audiophiles to absolutely use it. It builds a profile based on music that you've already listened to, and it gives just the perfect recommendations based on your taste in music. And
you also actually like those recommendations and shit? Because like this is a recent development, and like I remember the internet 15 years ago, and it was not like that.
See, that's the thing. I usually hate these recommendations, and they're usually absolutely wrong. But for some reason, it built the music profile generator, whatever that they introduced this past fortnight, works perfectly on me.
They bought Songza and a couple other companies that really specialized in that, so that probably helped them out quite a bit there.
I would say it did.
But I don't like the computer telling me what I like. It weirds me out.
If it's right, though, if it's right, I don't give a shit.
I just like continuous play when I'm listening to music. Like, if it could generate a playlist that would be acceptable and I don't have to look at it that many times when I'm working, you know, that would be sweet.
It does that. And
have you tried this new invention called the radio?
With ads and shit like that.
These things have ads. YouTube has ads, and Spotify has ads all fucking day.
Oh, that block.
Hey, who can recommend a good YouTube downloader that works on the desktop and is preferably like a command line application?
YouTube DL. It's a Python script, I believe. I think it's Python that can do anything with YouTube videos. It can download playlists. It can download the caption files with it. Extract audio. It's really great.
I would love to see the GitHub for that if you had it available.
I can get that link right away.
Cheers, mate.
Moving on to other stuff.
Sure.
You know what I heard?
That's technology?
Oh, my bad.
What did you hear?
Yeah, just while we're still on the topic of Android, apparently all of the versions before Lollipop are vulnerable to a privilege escalation exploit in the serialization code of Java that actually allows you to basically root the phone. And 4 days ago, 1 billion Android devices exposed, and apparently it's a serious vulnerability that exists in all versions prior to Lollipop.
I didn't hear about this.
I heard about it, but I think there's going to be a lot of updates pushed out for it. I think it only requires a few simple patches, and it's fixed.
Oh, yeah, because I'm probably one of the phones affected. I'm on an old version of Android. I need to get around to rooting my phone. If you haven't rooted your phone, you have to do it. It's a smart thing to do. The custom ROMs.
I'm not particularly. I mean, it's worrisome, but if you actually take OTAs or like keep up to date with your custom ROM, whatever, usually people got it fixed within a little while.
If you have custom ROM, if you're talking about like a lot of the consumers out there, you know.
Well, they're probably gonna make a new build at like Samsung or whatever, and push out a really small OTA.
How long ago was this, by the way? Just out of curiosity, was the vulnerability?
Hold on. It's pretty new. Like it's in the last 4 days it's come out.
Oh, because I had an Android update, I think like 7 days ago or so. That was a full system update where the phone would have to reboot a couple times, and I wasn't sure why I got that because I'm still in an S3. So it would make sense if that would be what it is.
Might be related because they're probably gonna try to push out an OTA to every one of their devices.
Yeah, and I think I got
it's a back-end flaw, so they could patch this without actually patching the rest of the OS on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be a small update or a big update, you know, if they had other bugs to fix.
Yeah, it wasn't small for me. It's the biggest Android update I've ever had. I've never seen it didn't do it through the Play Store or anything. It did it through the first-party Samsung. Install that shit now. But yeah, I'm looking into custom ROMs. Probably gonna be shopping around for some of those this coming week.
I have not had an Android phone in so long, and I'm considering just emailing a couple of contacts at Google and begging them to send me one of the phones off their desk.
What do you use? iPhone?
I had an iPhone too, but I lost that, and now I have no phones to develop apps on.
Oh, you have no phone?
Which sucks.
Did you use emulators?
Yeah. Well, I can't emulate the one app that I'm doing, but yeah, I'm just using an emulator for this other one I'm getting paid for right now, and I'm waiting for an iPod Touch to get here.
The emulator for Android actually does a pretty good amount of simulations. Like even the camera and the video capture and stuff like that is all simulated very well for testing purposes. You can do all that in emulator. Really, the only thing you can't do is the gyroscope stuff and things like that.
I mean, it's just a little slow. There's really no problem with it, but and the other thing too is simulating touch input. If you have an app that really involves the touch input at all, there is no way to simulate it for iOS or Android, really.
For Android, it doesn't have to be slow though, because there's a special process you can go through with your emulator to save a lot of its state in RAM, and then it's about the same amount of time as it would be to run a normal Java application after that point, at least in Android Studio.
Well, yeah, maybe they're using an x86 build to Android in Android Studio. Last time I had messed with it was Eclipse, and it was actually using the still QEMU ARM emulator, which was slow as shit.
No, it's still that way. It just does more optimization, I guess. JetBrains makes very good products. I'll say that much.
Yes.
And with the whole .NET thing happening this week, we are. It's pretty much confirmed. We're going to see a C# product out of them sooner or later. So, my body's ready.
Imagine a C# phone that wasn't Microsoft's.
That'd be crazy.
Take all my money.
I just want to see a phone that you can use a couple different languages on. There's no reason to lock you into Java like you are in Android, or Objective-C and Swift if you're on iOS. Let me write my FAR apps in Lisp, and I will be a happy man.
All right, gentlemen, I'm back. I know y'all missed me.
Oh, you were gone?
Welcome back.
No, like legit, I just thought you were being quiet.
Oh, yeah, I was gone.
Okay, in that case, welcome back. We just talked about phones.
Okay, that's good. I'm not really too into phones.
I don't have any right now, but I'm into them, so.
It looks like we're joined by special guest Bryce.
Yeah, also, we just had a guest speaker join. Corey, would you like to say hi?
I totally forgot the podcast was going to be today. So, hello.
What's up, man?
It's okay.
Hey, guys, is there anything we should ask Corey about, like his opinion, that we've already discussed? I have short-term memory loss, so I don't remember.
FreeBSD getting $1 million.
Who the fuck are you guys?
FreeBSD getting $1 million.
FreeBSD phone?
Confirmed.
FreeBSD phone would be fun. That would be fun.
And Yahoo Music.
I'd buy it just for fucking kicks.
Same.
Like the app?
No, what was that story about FreeBSD?
FreeBSD did get Corey. What do you think about FreeBSD getting $1 million?
From the creators of WhatsApp app.
Yep, I saw that. I thought that was pretty good. Like, they use
Solid
FreeBSD
opinion.
for their servers, and they like it, so I guess that donation was a good thing on their part.
That's
I
a 10-10 opinion right there.
Yep. Oh
I give
man,
it a
wow.
9 out of 11.
I'm pretty sure BSD is a lot more well written in Linux in a lot of areas.
It is.
Well,
Yeah.
of course it is.
That's monolithic design right there.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. My RAID
Cathedral.
1 array finally finished. It only took 8 hours, but I have RAID 1 now.
Congratulations, so.
I have one
Well, now that we're
set.
finished technology, I'm gonna dip out for the night. So it's been fun talking to you guys.
Alright.
Likewise.
See you, KittyKatt.
Bye-bye.
Alright, see you guys later.
And so, I guess?
No, I'm
Hey.
still here.
Okay. You said likewise.
I'm just gonna be like trying to fuck with this now at the same time.
Is this a podcast that we got going on?
Mhm.
Right?
It is.
Yeah,
Wow. Hell yeah.
After editing, it will be.
you're live.
After hours.
We are
On the spot.
streaming this. I'm streaming this through Icecast. It said actually if you put if you point your audio player to podcast.teknik.io.cast.mp3, it should be playing a live feed.
Are you bullshitting, or is it...
No, for real.
Oh.
I'm
that's
using
really-
Icecast.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
If there
Nice.
isn't traffic there already, we need to
Guys.
get more traffic. We need to have all of the GitHub
Rush hour.
open sourcers.
Guys, I'm
Yep.
sorry. I'm very excited. It works. It fucking works. I made a RAID 1 array by copying an existing Debian installation, and Grub didn't fuck my shit up. I'm back in business, baby.
Good job,
I got
so-
a backup. I
It's
got a
Congratulations.
backup
Fuck my
RAID
shit up.
1.
That's unheard of right there.
It's almost like you're a real nerd.
Oh my god, I thought I had to reinstall fucking everything. I'm so happy right now. Alright.
Wait, KittyKatt left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Wait,
straight
why?
up. Because he thinks we're done technology for some reason. Which, oh, wow.
He said if we're done with technology. I think he was he had to go somewhere or something.
Oh,
No, he said he had to go somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, channel's over. Technology's
Oh,
done.
okay, yeah, okay. All right.
No, we are pretty much done. So yeah, we move into the obligatory V section, which is going to be very short this week after the fucking what last week turned into.
God, that was horrible. I couldn't even listen to that podcast because
I
mean,
didn't either.
I like video games, kind of. I'm not as big as a fan as I used to be, but that was just I don't know.
The superhero, I listened to it. The superhero thing is what did me in. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was. What was that, guys? Come on.
I mean, this week is all over the place and whatnot, but I'm sure it's not talking about Ant-Man and Aquaman and all the men.
Yeah.
I know.
And go on.
I was just about to talk about gay dudes in a locker room and men, but it's instead of doing that, we should probably go into our multimedia topics for the week. Starting with, is there a way to de-crack a voice in post?
I don't think so.
Starting with Dymatic's
Puberty.
voice crack. Yeah, puberty. Anyways, I was gonna say, like, I know the sentiment, so, because last night, like, at 3 a.m., I sat down and ported NeoVim and all of its dependencies to Crux. So that was
Oh, right,
pretty
I
good.
was there.
Oh yeah, Crux is. I mean, Corey is an official Crux maintainer now. Of I guess what you would it'd be like the community. What Arch's in Arch's repository, it'd be like the community, right, Corey?
I wouldn't say so. I'm aiming to get into the contrib repository, which is pretty much the community repository on Arch. Like, it's similar, but right now I have my own repo.
Oh, yeah, that's resume building right there. You're part of an open source project.
Pretty much.
So anyway, we saw this week for the first time because the Master Chief Collection dropped, but that's not exciting to me, at least, just because it's a rehash of all the old Halo games that were to come out. I didn't want to shit on your Crux story, by the way, but I started Multimedia. I didn't want to just abandon ship. But we saw Halo 5 gameplay. Did anyone bother to watch it?
Nope.
What is that?
Halo
Is
5?
Halo 5 developed in Unreal Engine yet?
I honestly don't know. Is it?
Nice
I'll be
answer.
serious. I don't know about game engines at all.
I
Okay.
personally, oh man,
The ding, ding, ding.
ding, ding, ding. How do I disable that?
Put headphones on.
That works. Let me just write down the timestamp. I'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, Halo 5 came out, and I swear to God, or it didn't come out. Probably just started a hype wave that we didn't need to do. Halo 5 gameplay came out, and it looks like a reskin of Advanced Warfare with Halo characters in it. There's aim down sights, there's boosting all around, and Halo's done. It's bastardized. I'm sure Zanthas, when he said he used to be a fan of video games, that's kind of what you're referencing, was the early Halos, because it was just such a generation-defining game.
Yeah, Halo CE was fucking awesome. I love that game. I can still play it.
I don't want to jump on the bandwagon, but kiss that franchise. Good night, sweet prince.
Hey, I stopped giving a shit about Halo after Reach.
Yeah, it was... Well, Reach was good. And then I don't know what happened, and 5 is a different game.
4 was fucking... that was just disappointing.
They tried. That's all we can really say for it. 5 isn't... I'll say this. It's ambitious. It's not going to work. Or it might not work. I don't really know. They're appeasing to MLG very hard, and that hasn't worked out well for games in the past.
I hate Major League Gaming so much. I hate esports. I hate Twitch. I hate all that shit. Like, I don't see like how people can get into that. It's like, why would you want to watch some guy playing games instead of playing games yourself? I just don't understand it. I hate it. And I've noticed that like a lot of games are trying to get towards that. So like for me, I blame that for ruining a lot of the games I liked. So I hate it.
Watching video games as a spectator kind of sport type of thing has replaced television for me. So I absolutely get into that, but I can see why you wouldn't want to. And I don't know why I'm into it, really.
I used to watch a lot of speedruns. I think that's interesting.
They're interesting.
Yeah, I think speedruns are pretty cool. Like, you can see people glitching it out just to get the extra seconds off, you know?
Yeah.
But just like Twitch, and then just like watching those random hoes with like the big ass boobs on Twitch, like, why the fuck? Like,
Where are they at? Send me the link to that. That's what I want to see in gaming.
Well, I know there's this one girl named she was like Jug something, like Jiggly Jug or some shit. Like, she had like big ass breasts.
Jug.
Yeah, like that was her name on Twitch, and like she had just made her account a few hours before, and she had like 40,000 subscribers or followers or whatever it's called.
It's literally the same thing as like Bigfoot coming on saying, "Hey guys, gonna play some Call of Duty. Hope you guys enjoy." Like, you don't see that on the internet.
Some Call of Duty.
What the fuck, dude?
Some Bigfoot, I meant. I see Call of Duty on the internet, I'm pretty sure.
Unfortunately.
And the other big thing was Warlords of Draenor came out. Nobody cares. The 3 people that still play WoW probably, shit their pants about that, but...
Wait, before we move on, notice something. Those girls that are on Twitch showing their boobs are usually playing League of Legends.
Boobs play Pokemon.
That or Minecraft.
Yeah.
That might just be a sampling bias, though, because those are the 2 most popular games in the world right now.
That could be true.
Actually, League of Legends is the most popular game right now, like, by far.
Where does Dota stand, actually? I wouldn't know.
Pretty low, kinda.
It's big in for spectating, but in the grand scheme of things, player count, not that big.
China and Korea are so big on League of Legends, it's kinda insane.
Russia, too.
League.
Russia? Not sure. I think Russia plays Dota more.
Yeah, Russia is pretty big in Dota, but they have a large league following as well. I just got into Clash of Clans this past fortnight, and there's plenty of Russians there.
I just fucking hate MOBAs.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that as a genre. It seems like it's replaced RPGs. It's weird.
I've played Dota for 1,400 hours and League of Legends for 2,000 hours now, and I think I'm a pretty good player, somewhat. The games are fun. Like, it's not normal RPG or an arena game or whatever. It's a new genre. It's kind of new. It's kind of great. Sorry, I'm tired.
It's kind of new, guys. You probably haven't heard of it.
Yeah. At my university, I just see a bunch of people like in between classes just playing League on their big ass MSI or Asus or Alienware laptops, and it just pisses me off. Yeah, I don't know. I just hate that game.
MOBAs are huge with university students. It's actually a pretty good way to network with or intermingle with your fellow coworkers if you don't know people or co-students. What's the word for that?
Socialize.
Yeah, socializing.
Fellow students? Oh yeah,
yeah,
socialize.
Christ, that's G right there. It took 4 people to think of the word socialize. Like, what's that thing that humans do? Yeah, what I was trying to say was, Warlods of Draenor, the next World of Warcraft came out, but MOBAs killed it. Irrelevant.
That's WoW. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, people used to get all excited about it and pack up on ramen for weeks on end so they could just, like, sit in their fucking caves and grind some World of Warcraft out. Now, nobody gives a shit. You can boost to 90. It's EverQuested itself, I would say.
Yo, I'm excited for that new, like, infinite EverQuest with the procedural terrain engine. Have y'all seen that?
I have. It looks like a crossover of Minecraft and EverQuest.
Ultimately, it will get a lot cooler. I believe in that technology.
Yeah, it's one of the few games that I'm like long term excited for because that's not coming out anytime soon, right?
I don't think there's a timeline on it, and I didn't really like the graphics when I saw it, but I think they're going to improve it a lot, and it's going to be a really unique game.
What game? Sorry.
Vaporware.
Vaporware. I haven't heard of that.
No, yeah, vaporware is a term for software that doesn't.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you get it.
I'm asking about the game. What's the game?
EverQuest, the something.
Being a programmer, I'm just more interested in the engine and the procedural aspect of it. Like the procworld.blogspot.com, I think, is the guy that built the engines being used there, and it's insane. Like for what it's going to create, a actual Earth-like Minecraft, which will be sick.
Speaking of procedurally generated things, I saw, and it's currently the top post of the programming subreddit right now, is Highway at Night, which is 1,023 bytes of JavaScript that generates a highway procedurally. And let me just get that really quick. A link to that. Okay, here it comes. That's 1,023 bytes, less than a kilobyte right there, and it generates cop cars on a road with rotating stars and a moon and freaking fields.
This is pretty awesome.
Really, it's like a demo scene thing.
Yeah, I miss those. The competitions where they would have like sub 64 or sub 32 and shit. Sometimes they even have sub 16 like kilobyte file restrictions, and then make these beautiful animations that look like it would take like megabytes of OpenGL.
I mean, this looks like it is probably WebGL. I mean, I can check and make sure, but looks like it to me.
Canvases. Yeah.
All those police cars, though.
Yeah, this must take place in like Camden or something. It's Camden Simulator 2014. Straight out of Camden. The last, well, not the last, but probably the biggest thing to happen this week in multimedia, which actually isn't gaming, kind of gaming. G4 TV is no more. Done. Nixed.
Wow.
Dead.
Apparently, cable people in the tech world do not still pay for cable.
Who would have thunk it? Community that exists on the internet? Nah, they're not going to watch their content there. And listen, in the end, this is G4's fault because they didn't invest like HBO is now in figuring out how to switch their style of monetization from cable back into the internet.
Which is funny because it's G4.
Yeah, they had it coming.
I mean, look at the cable prices though. Like my cable bill is pretty ridiculous. Before I canceled it, it was $300 a month. So
when you can get all that for free if you have no problem with pirating.
Oh yeah, of course.
And shit, I don't pirate, and I spend less than $25 a month on media.
I actually called Comcast and complained so many times. They disabled all throttling on my account. I torrent religiously, and I never get any threatening letters. My internet speed never slows down. And yeah, if anybody needs the Comcast Advanced Tech Support line, holla.
Hey, Zanthas, you around?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Because I'm out of everything. So unless anybody else, Corey, because I know you got in late, unless anybody else has anything else to say, we might as well get some elections going.
Well, I actually had something to talk about, but I forgot.
Oh,
so,
well,
sorry.
We can wait around. I'm okay with that. Come on, Corey's brain. I know you can do it.
I just wanted to... I kind of been wanting to, on the podcast, to just kind of... I feel like we should... Give me 1 second.
I feel like Zanthas is about to ask us out or something. Like he's all nervous.
I do.
Alright, back. I'm sorry. No, I feel like we should give our listeners kind of, I guess, a background of, like, kind of the people we are. Like, just talk about ourselves a little bit. You know, just, you know, you're a student or whatever. You know, things like, you know what I mean? Just give us a little bit of a background. Yeah, or just, yeah, I guess. Or just talk about it. Just, like, you know, talk about kind of the stuff we're into. Like, if,
Men.
kind of like, you know, Corey's talking about Crux. Stuff like that, you know. You can talk about Crux, or, you know, you can talk about, what window manager are you using right now? BPSWM?
Herb STL FTWM.
You're using that?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm too lazy to set up BSPWM. And SXHD is what it's called, I think, which is the key daemon for it.
Yeah, simple X hotkey daemon.
Hotkey daemon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, you know, just stuff like that. Yeah.
Are you still using i3?
Yeah, I am.
Liking it?
It's really awesome.
Manual tiling is so good.
I have to
I
build
hate
a window
manual
manager
tiling.
in the next 4 weeks for Windows, like the virtual desktop thing. So it actually simulates multiple desktops while there's only one screen available.
Yeah, I like that feature.
Which, I mean, the code is open source, but I have to replicate all of it because it's GPL, or, you know.
I'm using something called Virtual Web for Windows to have multiple desktops.
That is exactly, yeah, that's the open source one I'm talking about. And it's got a lot of features, but I can't integrate it into this particular product because what they are doing is a proprietary thing, as much as I would like to just take their code.
The reason...
Yeah, it's under GPL, right?
Yeah, does GPL mean I can integrate it into a commercial product?
No.
If your commercial product is open source, or if it's under the GPL.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Good.
There was a bug that I found out in TR. Like, I didn't find it out. Someone talked about it in an IRC channel in Freenode. In GNU TR, you know what that program does?
Trims, right?
No, it translates.
Yeah, it's translate.
Anyway, it
allows you to transform characters to other characters, basically.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, motherfucker. I accidentally rewrote TR.
What?
I do this from time to time where I needed something and I'll make it and I realize it already existed as a core util. God damn it.
Wow, yeah. TR allows you to transform characters into other characters or other strings into other strings. It's pretty cool. It's like you can use it for, like, you know how Python has that, like, upcase, what is it, function? Mm-hmm. Shit like that? Yeah. It allows you to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I've done exactly that, but I can't for the life of me remember why I needed to do that.
I'm gonna post a picture soon, but I can't right now because I'm playing Dota, so talk about something.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you were gonna talk about TR, but...
Hi, guys.
Oh, hey, Konnichiwa. Or Konichi? Or however you say your name, I know. Yeah.
Right.
It's Kunoichi, right?
Kunoichi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kunoichi.
You know, what's easy about Japanese names and words is that they're almost like Spanish. So it's, like, easy to pronounce for me.
That's there.
I love languages that are just, like, phonetic.
Bug spotted. Wait, so this is a bug in...
The first one is...
Not in the GNU core utils, right?
No, the first one is the GNU core utils.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is SBase from Suckless.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
is it a character encoded?
Yeah, there's some bad There's some UTF magic going on there.
God, just the mark of the newbie programmer.
That's kind of upsetting, actually. Did you report it?
Nope.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I read about it, and then I don't know how the bug reporting process for GNU things work, so
straight up just straight up email RMS. He'll be like, I'll get on it. He'll just send out an email to, hey, someone fix this. Like I don't know if have you guys ever read the Emacs mailing list?
No.
Like from time to time, Stubman will just be like, yo, like can somebody fix this? Whatever. I kind of wanted this to, like, about a few months back, he was like, yeah, I kind of, when I envisioned Emacs, I kind of wanted it to be to have a mode where you could it's what you see is what you get a mode. Can somebody make this? And people were just like, all right.
Somebody
and they just started working on it.
Word processor, right?
Yeah, he kind of wanted to be like kind of like an MS Word kind of thing. So he was like, he wanted a mode like that. So
that's
he was
power
like,
open source right there.
Yeah, and so he just sends out shit. People just do it. So email RMS.
Open source is great for making text editors, horrible for making video editors.
Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it?
KD in Live is alright.
And I'll tell you why. Because in open source, if something's not interesting, it just doesn't get done.
Yeah, and apparently videos are hard and boring.
They are. It's a lot of math, believe me. And it's just working with all the different encodings and these little fucking things that can go wrong. Yeah, I've done some video stuff.
But making it what you see is what you get for like Emacs seems like a pretty big thing, you know? Like it would be a big project to do that, wouldn't it?
It would.
And he just like nonchalantly says, "Oh, hey, make this."
Yeah. Hey, if Saint GNU Ignatius orders it, it's getting done.
Emacs is literally an operating system, so you can do whatever you want with it. That's not even a joke. It's a virtual machine.
It's a Lisp interpreter that can edit text files.
Well,
the more I hear people talk about Emacs who use Emacs and like all this stuff, the less I'd be interested in it.
It's so complex. You just stick
It's the other way around for me.
This is actually a year ago. My bad. I just found the mailing list thread.
Yeah, I remember that from a year ago. I was like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, 4 nights are long, but they're not that long.
My bad.
So yeah, we were gonna go like round table and introduce whatever. What were we trying to talk about earlier, Zanthas?
Oh, you guys didn't do that yet?
Well, we have, but I just wanted to. I don't know. I feel like sometimes we're kind of. I think for a podcast to be successful, you gotta like the personalities that are talking. So we're just like voices without any backgrounds.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Shit.
Here's my back.
You can tell the production quality is through the roof.
I'm a Pokemon. That's my background.
The blue wall is my background right now. But other than that, I'm just this ex-programmer fucking IRC.
Wait, you're an ex-programmer now?
Yeah, he's an ex-programmer.
I thought you were just on hiatus, man.
I'm on hiatus.
You mean former programmer, right?
Yeah, the person formerly Linus programmer. Yeah, I slur words a lot. That's my main hobby. Came up with the idea of Teknik, so you're welcome, motherfuckers.
Motherfucker out.
That comes to it.
Yeah.
Wait, are we seriously doing serious bios?
Oh,
well, not
yo,
like,
I would love to do a bio. Mine would be funny.
Not super serious, but go ahead and just give a little bit about yourself.
I'm an aerospace engineer. I program Fortran.
There you go.
He is moot.
Who is this Fortran?
Wow. You know, honestly, I do. Every single time
Fortran?
somebody does say Fortran, I always think of Fortran. I'll be honest.
Did I ever tell that story?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, well, here we go. If you want a background, here's some. When I was first learning how to program, I was in this Java class at the community college because I got a free class there over the summer, but the whole backstory to how that shit happened is beside the point. So I'm sitting in class one day, and my professor says, does anybody here know about Fortran? And I kind of I looked around awkwardly, because there were only 3 other people in this class. It was a summer class, and nobody fucking showed up. I looked around awkwardly, I was like, yeah, I know about it, because back then I thought 4chan was still this secret club they weren't supposed to talk about to anybody. And I thought he had said 4chan instead of Fortran. so I look around, like, yeah, I know about it. And he said, oh, do you have experience in it, Dymatic? And I say, yeah, I go there kind of often. I mean, I haven't been recently. Going, gee.
That's like the time where we were talking about Linux distro. I was like, oh yeah, I use Fedora. And someone's like, I don't like that hat.
That's like, the proper way to respond, though.
Dymatic's like, I don't subscribe to the African philosophy of Ubuntu.
The African philosophy of Ubuntu? I actually agree with the African philosophy. Share and share alike. You know, my food is your food. And I try and help my fellow people. And that is the African philosophy, believe it or not.
What food?
Same here.
It's Africa. So I'm cutting that out.
Actually, I have a funny story to tell. I was at my university 2 weeks ago. I was in one of my engineering classes. And in my classes, it's either gamers with their big-ass laptops or hipsters. And I said, while I was sitting down...
That's every computer class every year.
Yeah, I know. It's
giant,
kind of annoying.
Noisy gaming laptops or identical ThinkPad. I mean, not ThinkPads, MacBooks
Pro.
Yeah, and then this guy sits next to me. He's like, you know, he has the hipster glasses. He's blonde, and he has it like kind of cut with the... Kind of has a hipster haircut with like the kind of beard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys have seen the hipster beard glasses.
This is, but I know what a hipster beard is.
It's the kind of shaggy, kind of not shaggy beard. Like they're...
Yeah, I understand. Here, I'll post a picture of it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like, well, you do that. I'll just keep saying it then. And he sat next to me, and he pulled out his Chromebook, and he opened it. He logged in. I saw he had Ubuntu on there, and I was like, well, this is interesting. And on his wallpaper, he had the OSI logo, which I was like, wow, like I didn't think
which OSI?
The open source initiative. You know, like it kind of looks like a key, like a lock key.
Don't know it.
You guys.
Oh, dude. So you didn't like hit him up about it or anything?
Yeah, like well, that's the thing. Like I saw him open. He was using Chrome, and he went to his Gmail, and on his Gmail background, he had the. Have you ever seen the movie Hackers? Like the Hack the Planet? Like, do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I regret that I haven't seen it.
You should see it.
The Matrix?
Absolutely.
No.
Angelina Jolie's tits.
Yeah, but yeah, he had a Hack the Planet background, and I was wondering if I should like just say, hey, like use Linux just to talk to him, because I also needed to like make some friends, because I had a group project coming up. And like I hadn't made any friends in there.
He is literally 4chan.
And like so I asked him, say, hey, do you use GNU plus Linux too? And he's like, no, I use Ubuntu. And I'm like, all right. I just got up and left.
Oh
like,
my god, Zanthas.
Like
Had spaghetti fell out of your pockets at that point.
Like I straight up just stood up and walked across
180 degrees and walked away.
Nice.
I didn't know you could green text over voice.
You said GNU plus Linux too. That's
yeah. Like I was actually gonna say Linux, but it just came out.
Just like your spaghetti.
But what pissed me off is that he had the OSI logo. How does he not know that like what Linux is? Like I don't know. I don't get that.
He if you know like retro or not retro, but it's like hacker and cool.
He was hiding his power level.
But the OSI logo looks like shit. That's the thing. Like I don't get it. That just really pissed me off.
Actually, he had a really high power level, but because the way you said GNU plus Linux, he was offended, so he pretended to be a pleb to scare you away.
I second that. He could have.
Yeah, but he was using Ubuntu with Unity. I doubt he had a high
Okay,
power
never
level.
mind.
Yeah.
But still,
there I was on my ThinkPad with Gen 2, so I didn't want to be next to a pleb, so I left.
Here's how you're in that situation. You just say, "Oh, nice. I like Ubuntu. What version are you using?" I should just something like that.
I would have done that, but it really did piss me off. I don't know why. I got pissed off when I got up.
Really, he had one of those like hidden boot partitions where you type in a different password and it decrypts to a different operating system, and really he's got like Gentoo running in a secret partition.
he cheroots into FreeBSD.
Sounds like overkill.
Yeah, but that guy is actually the leadest hacker ever.
There's a bunch of
You
different
just don't know.
names like that, like CH root, that can be pronounced in ways that I wouldn't have thought you could pronounce them until I heard somebody say it. Apparently, people call that a cheroot.
I say that.
I am Troot.
I say CH root.
I'm gonna put something in the chat.
CH
Tell me
root.
how you would say
Tell me
that.
the way you say that.
Nginx.
And yeah, yo, this is exactly
Yeah, Nginx.
Is this common knowledge?
Yeah.
Nginx. Yeah.
NGX.
I always say Nginx.
Yeah, I said that, and I still do most of the time, but I know it's
Nginx.
And by the way, when I said Nginx, I slurred my words. I was trying to say Nginx because that's what I usually call it.
All I know is it's just the fastest web server by far, and by installing it will quadruple the load your server can handle.
I thought that Warp was the fastest web server.
I mean, that's a possibility, but Nginx actually has like the configuration options. You can make it run anything that Apache runs, and it will be blazing fast, and you will like not have any load issues whatsoever. Apache has a ridiculous overhead for some reason with the default PHP install.
Well, it's got years and years of cruft just sitting on top of it.
I still love Apache for everything. I've known about Nginx like probably since it came out, but I've just never touched it. I've never had reason to.
You haven't had $600 servers that have just absolutely been raped with like hundreds of thousands of people, and like the simplest PHP scripts would fail, man.
Really?
Well,
Yeah,
and that's
actually,
why
I think I have a taste of what you're talking about, because when my server went down and the file system became read-only, Apache was doing some weird-ass shit. It wasn't just throwing me 404s, it was throwing me forbidden errors and like application/extract and like weird shit.
ultimately Apache is too huge, and it probably has a lot more bugs under the surface than any of us realize. So just because it's the most popular does not mean it is anywhere close to being the best.
It didn't
If you
make
want
Linux.
performance, Nginx.
That was like the killer app for Linux.
Apache?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So thank you for giving us the platform that we have, but go die.
Yep. Glamp.
Mhm.
XAMPP, brothers. Whoop!
That's the most ghetto nerd thing I've heard today.
Oh, I mean, that was ghetto. Ghetto
Interesting
nerds.
hybrid of don't try to out ghetto yourself.
I haven't
You
actually.
really did good. Okay, so we hit 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I'm lazy. I don't want to edit any more than that. So let's elect our user of the fortnight, and this will be over.
All right.
Let's go.
I
So this
nominate
week-
Mofaka.
Thank you.
Oh, did
I
you talk
nominate
about
TSO.
tomfoolery? This second bullet point right here. You want to do that off air?
Maybe they shouldn't.
I'm confused.
Dude.
Fuck it. I'll go with these out of here.
I'll go. I'll go deep in this. So we have in our Pirate Pad, which is what we use for note keeping. I have tomfoolery, which is a section that if we don't have enough topics for whatever reason, they're backup to go to. And usually we have something like really deep programming related. Like one time we had dynamic types and shit like that. This week we have Thanksgiving motherfuckers because turkeys. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Fuck that. We have Uncle rising it up, which really means he's in South Korea, fucking getting his happy ending on, and God,
What's the rice?
and we have me almost cutting my dick off, which knives, sleeping bags, dicks, and beer. Because I hadn't washed my bed for a long time, and there was like an outline of a human on it, so I was getting like outbreaks from it, or not outbreaks, breakouts. I was getting a bowl or some shit. So I tried to clean it, but it was still wet, with a knife sitting on my dick.
Well, was it
Holy
like
shit.
open blade, like right next to it? Like if you had made the wrong move, it would have got chopped type
If
deal?
I turned over, I would have been having a bad time. Like,
You sleep naked?
not usually, but under those circumstances, yes.
Somebody was getting some pussy or jacking off.
Jacking off.
Or being in a sleeping bag, and I literally felt like a goddamn caterpillar.
So like that
Maximum
kind of reminds
heartbeat.
me. This one time, I like fell onto a machete, and I came up like I hit
You
the
came?
table. I hit the table, but I was like it got about an inch into me, and if it had been like a foot more forward, it would have gone like right through me.
Holy shit, man!
I still have a scar from it too. It's like pretty close one right there.
Damn.
I've had a lot of brushes with death. Me and death are very familiar people.
I'm good.
Glad you've been evading it.
Yeah.
It went inch into me in that game.
Yeah.
What I got from that story.
Wow. But yeah, I guess our tomfoolery section is done. Our last
Yeah.
one is user of the fortnight.
Jesus Christ.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
So we got 4 nominations.
Yeah, but I want to not do one of them. Hang on.
How many of them are me?
None of them.
All of them. They even down to, like, fine. 1. Now we have 3, just because that whole thing, I don't know if it's worth nominating the person for.
Okay, well, yeah. It's fine.
I mean, it was cool. It was
Fine with
definitely
me.
very helpful. I don't know if he even comes to the channel anymore. That's the thing.
Okay, well, I'm just going to strike it out. That way it can be in the record.
Who comes to the channel?
JM Tricks. He
Don't
was,
know.
yeah, he was our first nomination because he helped me find very obscure information, which was just like a Turkish word. He's Turkish or whatever. Hey, that ties into Thanksgiving. Cluck cluck, bitches. Or gobble gobble, whatever turkeys say. I don't know.
Gobble
It's
gobble,
Thanksgiving this
motherfucker.
year.
I think,
Yeah.
I think it's Thanksgiving every year.
Same time too.
Mhm.
Same day.
It's been known to occur.
Well, when's Turkey Day?
Same month at least.
Thursday.
This Thursday?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's how November works. Then we
Yo.
have Shabba.
How
And
did Shabba
next
get
time-
nominated?
Dude,
I
I really like
no
Shabba.
bill. I vote that down.
But
So
dude,
yeah, we got Sheba for being a good new member, which is active, answers a lot of questions. And we got a
And
side
being a
note here
Mac
is like,
user.
honestly, fuck it. Shaba should get it. That's a side note there that Dymatic made.
he likes
and-
cars too.
He likes cars too. And he's
Uh,
unrepressed like some of the closet car people, Pro Wolf.
I got Pro Wolf nominated the last time I was on here, and he won.
He won?
Did he? Did he though?
No.
He-
I know I would have voted that shit down.
I mean, he's a troll.
And then
Edit that out.
no, there's no way.
Guys,
Oh, fuck yeah, I don't care.
And then my personal favorite nomination of the week, not Flygon.
Yep.
The
Guys, you forgot
motherfucker.
me for the crux pick.
How are we determining this?
I nominated the motherfucker.
Somebody
Zanthas,
nominated
please.
Cutebot.
Somebody did nominate Cubot.
Somebody did
Second
nominate
nominate.
Cutebot.
I struck that out when I banned him.
so did we have a bunch of people with like one nomination or what?
The way it usually works, we put it through random.org.
But seeing as that we only have one actual person, unless you guys,
because people right now just
but yeah, that's what we'll say. Unless you
Don't
guys,
discriminate against robots.
fuck Cutebot. I hate that bot. But like, I mean, I'd rather have him over Combot because Combot's a laggy piece of shit sometimes.
it's funny though. It's like the funniest bot next to SICP bot.
You actually
I
mind
nominate
that?
me for that crux pick I made. It's in the topic, and I just linked it in Mumble.
Okay,
Second.
Corey,
that's going to memorable moments.
Corey nominated that. Or
I
himself.
nominated the motherfucker.
You nominate Mofucker.
Alright, since this is a circle jerk of nominating people in the channel, I say Shabba wins.
I already nominated TSO, just to be sure.
Yeah, the guys are beating each other off the corner.
I
as
know,
always,
right?
so-
That's-
Put it in
why
random.org.
don't you guys nominate someone that's not in here right now?
Lick.
Shabba.
CA.
See, I've never seen Shaba help anybody.
I've seen him.
He's helped me.
I've seen
Oh,
him
for real?
argue with people.
Yeah.
Dude, he definitely argued with me.
He's helped me a bunch.
I was telling him about my Raid 1 thing, and he was going to start some shit about how Raid 1 sucks and I should do Raid 5, even though I only have 2 drives.
I just don't being active.
Being active is cool, but like I think some people like to troll.
I like to troll, but if somebody like asks a question, I usually just slip in a prompt answer along with the rest of my trolling. So it goes unnoticed, but I do try and answer everybody I can.
You know,
I think a lot of people are like that in the channel.
I just looked at the channel and there's some excellent aliasing going on right now. I'm gonna use some of these.
Oh yes, there is.
Cosmonauts up there.
I don't alias. I just because I'm lazy. I make scripts that it's hard to explain. Never mind.
This doesn't even make any sense. So you write a script out instead of just writing an alias because you're lazy.
Basically,
wouldn't it be the other way around?
I have a script called Firefox that runs Chromium browser with all the arguments supplied to it, so I wouldn't have to change my XDG settings.
Wow. Jesus Christ, man.
And I've talked before about
that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So, like, some programs launch Firefox as the default browser instead of Chromium for reasons I can't tell.
Because you probably have it set as your XDG or your depackage X. What's the fucking use, like www alternative browsers or fuck depackaging?
Like
use some weird shit.
There's very few of them.
That's why I hate Debian, because it uses the package manager backend is like your system settings manager, which I hate. That's so stupid.
Do you want to cringe at the worst use of a Linux system ever? Specifically, use Zanthas because you're using i3. I was going to use KDE with i3, but it wouldn't let me do that just because manually tiling wouldn't work. So I removed the kwin binary, renamed i3 to kwin, and it worked. Couldn't believe it. Worked flawlessly.
Wow, that's pretty nice. I've heard people doing that with XFCE.
Yeah.
But never with kwin, or with KDE, not kwin.
Because they're just totally different beasts.
Would compositing work on that?
Not enough good Qt, like, it's just KDE and just Razor Qt. Help me out. Qt is awesome.
Qt is awesome.
The fuck are you doing, Kuniichi?
I want to see a .NET
Not working.
window manager.
Dude, I'm gonna write one, but probably not in .NET. I actually have to do it.
The alias trick isn't working.
Yeah, because
to create an alias in Linux, it's CP-A, right?
No CP. That's rule 2.
I don't know how to
do you really not know that?
That's myself right there, but I don't use Linux like that. So I don't know.
It's just alias.
To send alias, it's alias. That's it.
Oh yeah, it's actually. Oh, okay. Okay, of course. Is there not a shorthand for that?
No, it's actually not even an external program. It's just built into the shell.
You can alias.
Yeah, you can alias.
All right, Cunch Jabba's user of the Fortnite.
Yeah,
Podcast ever.
No, you can't do that.